Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Here we go again, another heavy workload test for the all-new Google Pixel 9 Pro XL versus the 15 Pro Max and the S24 Ultra. In this video, I will answer one of the most important questions Pixel users have. How much better is Tensor G4 when compared to the previous generation? Spoiler alert, the 9 Pro XL passed the test and exceeded my expectations, so let's find out what happened. If you are familiar with the heavy workload test, you can skip to the next chapter, but if you are new here, the test includes 4 heavy tasks for each phone to keep running simultaneously for 30 minutes as shown now on the screen, without any crashes or thermal warnings. And here are the rules. All phones are running the latest stable software version available at the time of filming this video. I will be using cellular data instead of Wi-Fi with the 5G set to auto. The 9 Pro XL and the S24 Ultra are set to their maximum resolutions, while the 15 Pro Max has a fixed resolution, which is lower than the other two. The 120Hz refresh rate is activated, and the screen brightness is calibrated on the same light meter, so let's begin. All phones started at 80% battery except for the S24 Ultra, which started at 79 as it lost 1% while preparing the camera, but I will consider this in my calculations. The initial temperature readings from left to right are 30.8 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees, and 30.6. No apps are running in the background, and I will start by initiating a Microsoft Teams meeting, then enable the screen sharing, which you can see on the secondary phone's screen. Then play a 2160p video on YouTube in picture-in-picture view, plus navigating to Dubai Mall in Google Maps, and all of this will be running in the background while playing Asphalt 9. Right off the bat, starting the apps was enough to let the 15 Pro Max dim the display to be the darkest. The 9 Pro XL did the same but slightly less, while the S24 Ultra is still holding up. Beside that, let me show you that the game is set to 60 frames per second on all phones for the sake of fairness, and now let's count 30 minutes. The first thing worth mentioning is the 9 Pro XL graphics is on par with the other two phones, unlike the 8 Pro of last year, which had noticeably worse graphics than the competition in the same test back in Jan 2024. The video link is in the description if you want to check it, and my initial impression is Tensor G4 is certainly more powerful, but let's wait and see what's gonna happen. Somewhere in the second race, the S24 Ultra brightness dropped to be the lowest, the 9 Pro XL was the brightest, and the 15 Pro Max is somewhere in between. The S24 Ultra is very sneaky in dropping the brightness, which didn't allow me to spot the exact timestamp. Not only this, but its graphics started to be worse than the other two phones, and to show you what I mean, here's a screenshot of the same exact scene on all three. The 9 Pro XL and the 15 Pro Max look almost identical, while the S24 Ultra started to tune down some of the visual effects like the light reflections on the car's body, plus it doesn't look as detailed. I'm not sure what's wrong with the S24 Ultra as it never won this test, while the S23 Ultra of last year was always the king. So let's keep going. Shortly after, at the 3 minutes and 30 seconds mark, the iPhone got a big hit on the brightness to be the darkest. The 9 Pro XL is still in the lead, and the S24 Ultra comes second. And when it comes to the performance, all of them are still in a good shape. Moving a bit forward, the S24 Ultra got its second brightness drop somewhere in between the third and the fourth race, which I couldn't spot its timestamp, but here's a screenshot from the previous race menu. Now it's very close to the 15 Pro Max, while the 9 Pro XL is still in the lead. But after 2 more minutes, at the 7 minutes and 4 seconds mark, the 9 Pro XL had a small brightness drop, but still the brightest across the board. So far, I'm really impressed by the 9 Pro XL performance. Now let me fast forward to the 10 minutes mark to do a quick check and show you how is it going. From what I see, all of them are doing really well when it comes to the performance. The Pixel is still leading the brightness, followed by the iPhone, and the Galaxy comes third. The iPhone leads the screen sharing quality as usual, while the 9 Pro XL and the S24 Ultra are equally bad. So let's keep going until something different happens. Unfortunately, after 14 minutes and 45 seconds, the S24 Ultra gave a thermal warning and closed the picture-in-picture window, which is exactly what happened in Jan 2024 test, but after 18 minutes instead. And the temperature reached 46.8 degrees Celsius. When it comes to the battery, it consumed 8%, dropping from 79 to 71. So rest in peace Samsung, and let's continue with the other two. But let's take a quick break to tell you more about the channel's wallpaper app. Wallpapers by In-Depth Tech Reviews app is now available on Google Play Store. It will give you unlimited access to my exclusive wallpapers that are carefully designed to match your taste and work nicely with Material You theming. But there is even more. The app will give you the flexibility to edit your lock and home screen wallpapers separately. You can add blur, adjust the brightness, or even change the colors to make it your own. And to match the edits for both screens, tap the Copy Edits button so you don't have to repeat yourself. Lastly, you can save and sync your favorites across all your devices by signing into your Google account. The app is available on Google Play Store with a 50% discount for the first month to be at $1.99 instead of $3.99, and here's what you will get. Lifetime access to all wallpapers, 12 new exclusive wallpapers every week, plus all the previously mentioned features. The download link is in the description, and I'm eagerly waiting to hear your feedback. So far, the iPhone and the Pixel are still performing. The iPhone has the edge when it comes to the screen sharing quality, while the Pixel has a brighter display and a slightly higher FPS, so the game feels smoother. And now let's fast forward to see if things will change. The iPhone performance kept getting worse over time until it reached the 10th race, and that's when the game started to lag more frequently, as shown in this example. While the Pixel kept the same brightness level since the 7 minutes and 4 seconds mark, which is great, and the gameplay still feels smoother than the iPhone, but not as good as what it was at the beginning of the test. From this point till the 27 minutes mark, nothing changed. But later, the iPhone performance started to get back on track. I assume that's because the graphics of the last two races are not as extensive. Either way, this is a final look at both before ending the video, and now let's jump to the numbers as both made it till the end. Starting with the temperatures, the 9 Pro XL reached a whopping 48.6 degrees Celsius versus only 44.5 for the 15 Pro Max. When it comes to the battery, the Pixel lost 15% versus only 12% on the iPhone's side. And now let's compare the results. Both the 9 Pro XL and the 15 Pro Max finished the test successfully, while the S24 Ultra closed the picture-in-picture window and gave a thermal warning after 14 minutes and 45 seconds, so it's disqualified. Temperature-wise, the 15 Pro Max was the coolest at 44.5 degrees versus 48.6 for the Pixel and 46.8 for the Galaxy. The iPhone was also the most efficient, consuming only 12% battery, while the Pixel lost 15% and the S24 Ultra lost 8% in 14.75 minutes. So the consumption per minute is 0.5% for the Pixel, 0.4 for the 15 Pro Max, and 0.54 for the S24 Ultra, but there are some important points to consider. The Pixel has a high resolution, the game was smoother most of the time, and the display was brighter throughout the entire test. But the iPhone had the edge in the screen sharing quality as always. That shows how each OS prioritized things, and based on the count, I will call it a draw between the Pixel and the iPhone, while the Galaxy lost it for the second time. And for those who are wondering about how better is the 9 Pro XL when compared to the 8 Pro, I would say it's at least 20 to 30% better. I'm planning to make a separate video comparing both, but most probably after the release of Android 15. So that's pretty much it for today. That was my heavy workload test between the 9 Pro XL, the 15 Pro Max, and the S24 Ultra. Thank you so much for watching, and see you.